What's up guys, DreamcastGuy here, talking today about Halo Master Chief Collection. This review has been a long time coming and I'm glad it's finally out. But does this title finally live up to the hype? The storyline that's been 10 years in the making, all on one disc on the Xbox One. Buy or pass? That's the question that we're going to be answering today. To review a game this massive, we really have to break it down into 5 chunks. Each of the 4 games, Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4, and then a 5th section which will just cover the multiplayer. Because this game is so big, to try and blend it like I normally do in my reviews is just too much. So first, let's look at the first one, Halo Combat Evolved. In Halo Combat Evolved, we're getting to don the helmet of Master Chief for the first time. The graphics are ridiculous, the control is strong, and as soon as I started jumping into this, I noticed how much the haptic feedback of the triggers on the Xbox One really do affect the experience. Playing Halo 1 again, you realize that so much of this game's claustrophobic and simultaneously open world feels so great. Every gun's pull of a trigger, you feel. Every pop and bang of my pistol firing into the dark, I can feel in the trigger as well as see on the screen and hear in my headphones. It's a rare feeling. The new light, 60 frames a second, 1080p visuals, they really strike you all at once. It's weird to experience such an amazing game that's so old being relived. Having loved this game so much in high school, it's so strange to see basically my memories completely revived in my mind. I picture this game with so much fondness that I know I kind of gloss over how bad it looks now. The ability to toggle back and forth from the original graphics to the new graphics is a nice comparison, a kind of guess what we once had, while simultaneously really relishing the joy and passion these programmers put into it. Halo Combat Evolved is a game I'm so glad modern gamers are getting to enjoy. This classic has been relegated to clearance bins by a decade past, so this is an interesting treat for young gamers. Halo 2 may be the game that's most touted in this HD remake. This is the only title that doesn't actually run at true 1080p. It runs slightly below because they're simultaneously running the old version and the new version simultaneously. The ability to toggle back and forth to the old graphics to the new graphics is fun, but really, just seeing the crystal clear, amazing clarity of Halo 2 is beyond incredible. Getting to dual-wield guns in space, fighting elites, switching back and forth between the Arbiter and Master Chief. This slightly convoluted story actually feels a lot more smooth and streamlined in this. When I watch all these cutscenes unfold, it feels like it makes a little more sense. I'd heard they edited it slightly, they redid some of the voicing, because originally, sometimes it was just batshit crazy. And I have to say, I'm not sure what choices you made, but they're good. The whole feel just makes more sense. Going straight from Combat Evolved into Halo 2 is liquid smooth. The controls are slightly different, but you just immediately feel perfect. You really feel like you've just stepped off the Pillar of Ottoman and you're ready to take Earth back. Defend it against all costs. The last stand against the Prophets. To try and fight back the Covenant, tooth and nail, any little inch by inch until they can get off our homeworld. Halo 3 is still a relatively recent title. I mean, it only came out about 5 years ago. Even if you're a very recent gamer, you probably grew up playing Halo, or at least hearing of Halo 3. This title is upgraded quite a bit. I mean, it has shinier pixels, the graphics look better, and it's really fun just to go back and kind of experience this game all over again. Do I feel like this game needs to be remade? Not so much. It's fun that it's included and it's great to play them all chronologically. It was really fun just getting to play Halo 3 again with new friends. And it's one of the reasons I'm really glad Halo 3 and 4 are on this disc, is there's a lot of people I hang out with now that I was not friends with in 2009 when this originally released. It's kind of a big excuse to kind of take your friends who have also played through this, play through a new awesome experience of this original classic, and kind of go, where did you snipe from? What did you throw a grenade? How much did you hate the brute shot? Halo 3 is still a solid title, really fun. It was a lot more fun playing co-op though. Playing alone through these typical jungles, hunting brutes down even though they're just pretty much big bullet sponges, wasn't so fun by myself. A lot of times watching them sneak up on me with a gravity hammer only had a thrill for the first 1 or 2 times. And after a while you're kind of like, man, I sure wish Master Chief would just castrate this guy with his bare hands. Halo 4. This title is very recent and it's still so fresh in my mind. The first game not actually fully tackled by Bungie. It's a very unique one and it's fun to have on the collection. The upgraded visuals aren't that substantial, the music score is still the same, but again, the haptic feedback really does make a difference. Feeling this really high intense jiggle, this vibration of the controller whenever there's an explosion. Every time Master Chief's having to rip a hatch open and get sucked into the vacuum of space, you feel the haptic feedback. It's an interesting feeling. I like all the changes they've made, but at the same time, it doesn't feel dramatically different. If you played Halo 4 in the past, you're going to play this again, and it's going to feel about the same. One thing that I can't really confirm was upgraded, but it feels like the sound in Halo 4 was completely redone. Many of the sound bites sound so much bigger, fuller, and warmer. A lot of times when there's an explosion or a big, huge gun battle or something, all those plasma fire flying past me, they all have a more searing hiss to them. A lot of the gunshots have a lower vibrato to them. You actually feel the vibration of a gun being fired next to Master Chief's head in a way that the original title didn't do at all. If they just subtly went in and re-recorded every single soundbite, it shows, and I'm glad they did. Multiplayer. This may be the only thing that actually subtracts a few points. One thing that I was the most excited about was finally getting to actually tackle the original Halo 1 multiplayer. I actually earned my living just playing Halo for several years in high school. I was so good that tournament money paid my bills and put Dr. Pepper in my veins. But unfortunately, this is not included at launch of the Master Chief Collection. They said that it didn't feel it was ready, so they had to cut it from the launch and it'll be added later on. I understand, but this still is very crushing to me. I am very excited that they included the totality of the untouched Halo 2 multiplayer. Halo 2 multiplayer was a pivotal moment of Xbox Live. When this launched, this was revolutionary. At this time, before that, Xbox Live was a feature that very few games really used. This was the first game that was the must-have online game, shooter or otherwise. If you weren't playing Halo 2 online, you weren't shit. There was actually a gigantic problem when they finally get to shut down the servers for Halo 2. Thousands of players were online and they refused to log off. Basically, Bungie had to say, look guys, we need to shut down the servers. It's costing us tens of thousands of dollars a month running these, and you guys are just such a small group that we can't really afford it anymore. And people refused to log off for months. There was a stalemate. And finally, enough people logged off that they could shut the servers down. And now it's back. All the diehard Halo 2 fans, including myself, are happy to be back in all these maps. And maps galore will you have. All the different game modes are fantastic, but what really wins it over is that there are more maps than you can imagine. By my count, over 40 maps are total in this. You have the Halo 4 multiplayer, Halo 3 multiplayer, Halo 2 multiplayer, a lot of multiplayers that kind of blend all of it together in so many interesting ways, and also a tournament playlist. A tournament playlist actually runs a lot of Halo 2 Anniversary Championship Series rules, lots of 4v4 game types. It's just a very interesting move. I am still very let down that we're not going to have Halo 1 multiplayer in there for a while, but I'm glad they did what they did. It's strange some of the maps that are missing and all the ones that are included. So many DLC maps were pasted in so beautifully and so amazingly, but a couple of the favorites just slipped through the cracks, and really, I hope these don't get sold to us later. I would almost prefer they leave it out, but you know, that's just my opinion. Overall, after everything, I'm going to give this an 8.75 out of 10. It is an amazing title. Is it the most original thing ever? No, but it's a very, very adequate port that shows a lot of time, care, and passion was poured into this, and I'm glad the development team did such an amazing work restoring these classics and, you know, putting 3 and 4 in there for good measure. On this disc also is the exclusive Halo 5 multiplayer beta, and as soon as that goes live, I'm definitely going to be reviewing that too. So this has been DreamcastGuy. If you like this, share it somewhere and subscribe. But as always, keep reading, keep gaming, and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.